This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And Grace, we're matching today. Isn't that great? we didn't even call each other before we logged on.
Damn it, we behind the scenes we record multiple episodes in a row, and I was already planning on the next episode where I do the intro to be like, for those of you watching the YouTube video, you'll see that we're matching, but you got
the perks
first.
of you going first today, aka me being the first to introduce us.
So you get to have the line. Yeah, this is a great plug for our YouTube page.
Damn, you stole that out of my mouth. Now go for it.
That's it. Saturday Morning Mysteries YouTube. See what we won't say what we're wearing that's matching, but it's so exciting. You won't believe that we happen to wear
as fashionistas.
You won't. I bet you don't even have something like this in your closet.
Probably not. Very few people do. Very few millennials in America have what we've got on right now.
Yeah. So check it.
People are gonna unsubscribe after they check. These bitches.
These people are misleading.
Yeah. Misrepresentation, fraud. Anyway, so we're back to do another episode of Totally Spies, and today it is Grace's turn to tell us about the shenanigans and destruction that they caused today, prevent today.
Human protection.
Protection. Who's the single human that they will be protecting today?
So today I am doing episode 20 from season 2 of Totally Spies. And what really sold me on this episode was that it takes place in Liverpool, England, primarily. AKA, we're going to have some shitty accents today.
Yes. Can't wait.
And Liverpool especially is a really hard accent to do. So if you think of if you've ever heard the Beatles speak, mainly Paul and especially John and I think George is also from Liverpool. I can't remember if George or Ringo are. Whoops.
Not Ringo, always the black sheep of the group.
Wherever he's from. Yeah. So, their accent's really hard to do. I cannot do it. So we're just going to do a bunch of random British accents this episode. See where it lands.
To us Americans, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
I also like to imagine that in your prep work for this episode, you just listen to a bunch of Beatles interviews and Beatles music, but did tangents down, listening to all this music and stuff. You're like, oh shit, that's right. You can't hear the accents when they sing.
Discography again. This is research. No, I should have done that. I should have, even right before we recorded, looked up to remind myself what a Liverpool accent's like. Did I? No. Whatever. YOLO. There's also a Queen's accent in this, which is Queen's English is totally different as well. So good luck.
You just taught me something new. Like I said, I just group them all together. All I know is there was Welsh and there's the other kind.
All we know is that we won the Revolutionary War, so we don't have to know.
So we don't have those accents.
So we don't have to learn which accent's which in England. So nice. Our cold open today starts in the Liverpool Library with the head librarian. She's this very meek looking blonde woman. She's middle-aged. We know she's meek because she's got a big sweater and big thick glasses on. She's working at the front desk, and this huge hulking man comes up and slams some books down on her desk. She starts to go through them kind of intimidated because he's this huge bodybuilder looking bro. And she tells him that the books are all overdue, so he owes some fees, which I, yet again, am legally obligated to bring up. Wait, Alexis. She started laughing before I even started saying this.
I resonate with this guy.
We did our senior thesis project, and Burr just kept her books from the downtown library for way too long.
There's not a single library that I haven't just like hoarded books from. It's like a thing in my family. CDs, books, you name it.
Yep. Yeah. So I must always mention it. Cincinnati Downtown Library. If you're missing some research books,
don't call me. I've fled the state. So they can't legally get them back from me.
They're gonna extradite you. The Cincinnati Library extradite.
I'll be like banned from DC and Maryland libraries.
Oh my God, which are like all incredible, especially in
I know DC. Yeah,
that would be so sad to be banned from a library.
Oh man.
Wow. Anyways,
oh well, I'll let you know how it is.
So Alexis owes like $8,000 probably in overdue fees
by now. Yeah,
at this
the
point.
Interest builds up.
Exactly. Inflation. 10,000 at least.
Yeah, if you can't find a book at your library that they're like sure that they have it, like, yo, I probably am the one that has it and never returned it.
Yeah, was it Cincinnati or DC?
Mm-hmm.
We know whose name was on the inside of that. Or Ursuline Academy.
Dude, even my grade school, so many, like literally everywhere I go, if there's a library, I'm gonna keep books from it for way too long / forever. So
anyways, support your local libraries, everyone.
Yes.
Unlike this man who is refusing to pay his overdue fees, and she's kind of like shouting after him. I think he like insults her or something like that, and just like stalks away. But as we see him like storm out, again, not paying for his overdue fees, the little librarian's just kind of like accepting her fate. And we see in like the aisles of the library some like someone's lurking back there, and we see that this person, you can't really tell, it's all shadowed, has some type of amulet on. And the bright light starts shining from it towards the librarian. And as it shines towards her, we see her eyes and her pupils go wide. And she leaps suddenly from behind the desk, runs up to that huge man, grabs his arm, and goes full WWE, throws him over her shoulder and onto the ground, and starts beating the shit out of him. She gonna get her fees. This is why Bird doesn't go back.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to get whooped.
I got attacked.
Exactly. And from the bookshelves, we see from that shadowy figure a smile. And that's it. Until we hop back to our side of the pond. And our spies are at Beverly Hills Mall at a CD store, which is now the second time I've brought up a CD store in these episodes, because this was the 90s, I guess early 2000s. Let's remember, I'm not saying seedy as an SEEDY, like
a CD store. See people like selling stuff out of their jackets, out of their coats. Pretty seedy in here.
Yeah, wow. I mean, maybe it was Beverly Hills. There's nothing seedy. Well,
yeah. Not in the mall. Well, yeah. Exactly. Anyways.
So this CD store has, big TVs playing. It's playing hilariously what's called the M channel, aka MTV.
Yeah.
And the host is this guy named Hanson Carter, aka like Carson Daly on MTV, because they were just playing music videos. Hanson Carter, also funny because like the Hanson brothers, the Carters,
and like Aaron
Carter, like they knew what they were doing. He is like a DJ who's playing requests and music videos, and obviously Clover is in love with him. On the TV, she's just in the TV or CD store watching, so in love. Hanson Carter announces that they are opening up a contest to let you, yes, you, be the co-host DJ for a day.
Ooh.
So all you have to do is submit a tape of yourself explaining why you deserve to co-host with me, Hanson Carter, on the M channel. So, of course, Clover is down to clown so they can meet up, fall in love, etc., etc. And Alex and Sam are in there too, just looking at CDs, hanging out, like ignoring.
Okay, cool, obviously. Clover, cool. You're as per usual, boy crazy.
Yeah, like they're not even blinking an eye. But as per usual, this is when, once, obviously Clover is in love with someone, they get sucked down or up or over or into Whoop headquarters. I don't remember how they got there this time. But
they got sucked, though, that somehow.
They were there, then they portaled. Now they're in Jerry's office.
Yeah.
Done.
Cool.
And yes, they land this time not in like the usual like debrief room or briefing room, but in Jerry's actual office because he is very busy today. And usually we've mentioned a couple times when they get sucked into Whoop headquarters, Jerry kind of like giggles, being like, that was a good one, like how I got them in here. But this time it's the girls who start laughing because Jerry walks out of like a closet he has in his office, dressed in what I can only describe as a 1400s English nobleman, like knight,
what?
Christopher Columbus outfit. He's got like the white wig with like the curls, the pantaloons that are like super puffy at the hip and then like leggings underneath.
Yeah.
The like broad shouldered, very ornate jacket thing with the poofy shoulders and like tight at the waist. And he gracefully ignores the girls because he is just too excited because he, Jerry Lewis, master spy and founder of Whoop, was invited to get knighted by the Queen of England.
Aww, that's kind of cool.
So this is his knight outfit.
Okay, but also,
is
that what you have to wear? Can you just wear a regular suit? Maybe
you know
not.
What?
I don't know. We're not Brits.
We won the Revolutionary War, so I wouldn't have to know this
so we don't have to know, right?
But I will say we do go to the knighting ceremony later on in this episode, and everyone who is getting knighted is wearing this outfit. So, like, this is the French interpretation of what happens in England, because remember, this is a French show, technically.
That's right.
It's got captioned here. So it's the French making fun of the Brits.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, we're in this together with the French.
Yeah, they also won a lot of revolutions.
Exactly. The late 1700 revolutionaries.
Revolution buddies. Hey! So the girls have a lot of follow-up questions, but he ignores them, saying that they need to learn about their mission ASAP, basically so they can get the fuck out of his office because he's got to go to Buckingham Palace. So Buckingham Palace.
There. Okay.
So he explains that shit has been going down in England, but things seem to be centered around Liverpool. Recently, there's been an onslaught of very abrupt, rash, aggressive, and odd occurrences in which people's personalities suddenly very drastically change. Such as, so we actually, in classic surveillance state mode, we see a bunch of clips. So we see the librarian throwing the dude over her shoulders, a surgeon who's meant to be like very careful and precise, suddenly can't stop dancing.
Thank God.
Yeah, no, they couldn't get too grim on that one.
Yeah.
An army general who's usually very serious and stern, who's giving like a briefing, but as if he's giving a briefing to like a kindergarten class using hand puppets. And these incidences seem to be extremely random, seem to be growing with no rhyme or reason. Some of the people are prominent and well known, which is probably why it's getting headlines, because like it's not a crime to like change who you are and like go through a new phase or something like that. Like,
yeah, like do you?
We all do it. We all have new personalities every now and then.
But when it leads to setting off nukes, then we've got another issue.
Then we could have some questions. Yeah, when the military general is using hand puppets.
Exactly.
Type of thing. And again, that it's happening to famous people means it's a problem for all of us. Because the British tabloids. So we have pretty standard gadgets for this mission. We've got the laser lipstick, the hairpin lockpick, hearing devices / like communication devices, the suction bottom go-go boots, and vapor emitting gloves. So little gloves. Basically, what is it called? Where people chloroform.
Oh shit!
Chloroform gloves, I think.
Okay.
So the basics.
Cool. The basics. No big deal.
Yep. And with that, they're off. They're on the spy plane heading over to Liverpool. And on the plane, Clover is working on her audition tape, basically saying she's cool, Hanson Carter's cool. I'm hot. You're hot. What more do you need? I should have written this fully down, is in a wild fucking outfit. She's got, I think, like, again, one of her like sequins cowboy hats on, like a bikini top, crazy bell bottom. Like, I don't know what was happening, but I was like, ma'am, your parents would not let you wear this outfit to be on national television. You're 16.
That's how you win the audition, though. They're like, oh, look at her. She's perfect for television.
Exactly. She's not afraid of being sexualized at
exactly.
16. Perfect child actor.
We found your co-host, your co-DJ, whatever.
Your it girl.
Yeah.
So down in Liverpool, the girls actually go directly to the librarian to interview her, which I'm not sure what story they tell her to get in, because they like go to this woman's apartment. Like, maybe they're exchange students working on a school paper.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. They go to her home and come into it, and they're just like dressed in like normal outfits, asking her questions, like interrogation style.
Like over tea.
Yeah. You'd think over tea, but no, the librarian is now absolutely fucking shredded and is working out while she explains what happened to her. She ain't got time for tea unless it's pumped with steroids. This lady's a bodybuilder now.
She's got the kind of tea is like, what's it called? Like Tren or something. It's like a type of steroid. That's the tea
powder
she has time for.
That's it. And so, yes, she explains to them that things were totally normal until last Thursday, where while at work, I saw a sudden flash of bright light, and then bam, I went from weak to hella strong, went from meek to hella aggressive. She's like full of like, again, aggressive energy now, like testosterone at high levels, and is now competitively wrestling because she, in truly a flash, became like a pro at it. Like, got not just strong, but like got really fucking good at wrestling.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, and is also like doesn't know what to do with all this pent up energy she suddenly has.
What a career arc.
And now here, we must speak about this career and widely speculate, specifically about her possible wrestling name.
Oh my God, yes.
Here are some things I came up with. So, the first one, there's only a couple.
Okay.
Wild Thing, but spelled like Oscar Wilde, aka at the end.
Okay, cool.
The Overdoer, aka over 2 books.
Ooh, yes, I like that.
The Husher, or what I think is the best one, the Dewey Decimator.
Ooh, oh shit, they're all good.
So
that's tough. It could be like, depending on who she's fighting, different kind of personas that she takes on.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think,
but she's definitely not like she's not gonna like play the like I'm gonna outsmart you type of wrestler. I think she's gonna play like I'm here to fucking shut you down type of wrestler, like no nonsense. So thus I think Dewey Decimator was my favorite.
I was gonna say that's my favorite too. The Husher is really good too. She'll make you permanently hush in this corner in her knitted sweater, knitted by her granddaughter 2 years ago. Make sure you're quiet. She'll sneak up on you and hush you forever.
The crowd has to shh when she comes on stage.
When she's walking out, everyone's you hear a whole arena doing that.
Oh, all right, the Husher's got good crowd play.
Yeah,
to it. I like
the Dewey Decimator sounds intense. The Overdoer, though, the Overdoer, man, she will overdo those injuries to your body.
Exactly.
Like the slogans are all they're endless.
I know.
These are great. These are great.
The merch is there.
What you're establishing, Grace, is that you have a career in WWE. Like
put me in,
literally
baby.
Just in their marketing.
I'm in their promo in their marketing corner.
Yeah,
I'll do a quick interview with them. I'll make them take a little Myers-Briggs test, get to know their personality. I'll brand them.
You're like interviewing them, glasses on and stuff. Like, so tell me, in these situations, how would you react?
Exactly. Would you rather go on vacation at the beach, in the mountains, in a city? It's like a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah.
And then from that, I just make random puns. They're
has
like,
nothing to do with it at all.
They're like, yeah, wait, I was never a librarian. I can barely read. Don't care. Next. Stamp
Don't
it on
care.
them.
The dolls will sell like crazy, or
Exactly.
the action figures will sell like crazy.
This is your personality now. Send in the next one. So, yes, thank you for going along with that journey with me. It was necessary.
Those were all fantastic.
Yes. So the girls, thank you, have no follow-up questions, apparently, because it is a pretty weird story. So they just kind of say thanks and leave. And as they're heading out, Clover and Alex are discussing this and like kind of in a mean 16-year-old Beverly Hills girl way, kind of being like mean about it and being like, maybe she had a freak accident. She's just like a freak now, which is mean. But also what the core of what they're saying is like, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah, okay, true. Yeah.
Why is this sus? Like,
what kind of freak accident could just like turn you to like a pro wrestler?
Or like maybe she did just start doing a bunch of roids. Like,
yeah,
we don't
which
know.
is like legal as long as I'm not sure what the wrestling rules are, but like in terms of criminal stuff, like
like
you can do that.
It's international. It's not the Olympics.
Yeah,
like the Russian doping scandal.
Yeah.
Or something
it's like unless
that.
she has to take a pee test soon, like I see no problem with this.
Exactly. She's just living her life.
Yeah.
But as they're talking about that, being like, so what? Sam, our, well-learned global girly that she is, grabs a newspaper. Unfortunately, it's from a newsstand. It's not some like British Newsies child that I was hoping it would be, being like
some poor child handing out
extra. Please, sir, may I have some more? Please buy my paper, ma'am.
In ripped clothing and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was just a new, more like magazine rack stand situation.
Okay.
But anyways, she's flipping through the newspaper again, our global girly here, and she sees a very interesting article that catches her eye. That some leading wrestler there in England, he had some dumb stage name. I didn't write it down. It wasn't up to my standards.
It wasn't as good as yours. Yeah.
So I didn't even bother. Just announced his retirement at the peak of his career in order to lead a simpler, quieter life. So this, could be a total coincidence. He probably has a lot of concussions. Probably wants to retire, maybe get into acting, as many of them do. But they don't really have anything else to do. So they're just like, well, I guess we'll go talk to him about his sudden decision, we guess.
He's a wrestler. That librarian wants to be a wrestler.
Yeah, like maybe we could do a meet cute for them. Yeah. Like we might as well while we're in town.
Think of all the things they can talk about.
Exactly. So they head to where all of the pros train in Liverpool, which never in my life have I associated Liverpool with wrestling, but whatever. There's a gym there. Where
there's a gym.
A single gym there.
One. So apparently that's the headquarters of training for wrestling.
Of all English wrestling.
Yeah.
So they head there and the wrestler is gathering the rest of his things and hilariously not just reading his new books, but like in the gym, there's like a study like lounge chair and he is surrounded by books saying, yes, wrestling used to be my life, but now, well, since last Thursday, all I wanted is just a good book. And smartly, because these girls are actually sometimes good at investigating, they ask if he knows the head librarian at the Liverpool Library, thinking like, you know what? Maybe they're just friends and have like rubbed off on each other. Like you get friends into the things that you're into too.
Yeah.
So like, maybe. But he has no idea who she is. And the girls are being like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like, kind of feels like opposite day going on, but with personalities. But like, they don't know each other. They don't run in the same circles. Although, that's probably about to change since, she's going pro unless she gets roided out or he's going to go. Actually, I do think he'll
be the librarian.
I think he does say something along the lines of like, oh, because they're like, she's not there anymore. And I think he does mention like, oh, are they hiring or something like that. But
now's my time.
Yes, instead of going back to their new librarian friend, and just asking her like, hey, leading up to that bright light moment, like, what'd you do that day? They instead quick change into their librarian outfits, which are like pencil skirts and like blazers and like glasses, to be like, we are librarians now. Like they look like they should be going to
like a board meeting.
Yeah, exactly, like to London board meeting somewhere. But whatever, that's what they decide to wear because they need an undercover outfit change.
They're too cool for libraries, Grace, so they don't know what librarians actually look like. I think this is what they wear.
Yeah, don't read books. Nerds wear.
Yeah.
Suits, I guess. When like Jerry's in a suit every day, they absolutely
they totally think exactly.
Yeah, this is what they based it on. So they just put the outfits on, they just walk right behind the front desk and just go through the drawers like in the middle of the day. And they find the head librarian's work planner, aka like a written calendar. She didn't have a Palm Pilot or a BlackBerry. This was 2002.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Still pencil to paper librarian. So yeah, they're hoping basically to be like, did someone come and go that like would have had a connection to the wrestler somehow? Like, what's out of the ordinary? But they do see on the calendar, because there's like nothing crazy there, just like normal appointments and meetings, that they do see something, which like, this feels like a big violation on the spy's part, because she had an appointment with a doctor, someone named Dr. Gray. So like, HIPAA situation going on. Like, this is like someone's personal, whatever,
privacy.
But you know,
surveillance state.
Sam gets out that super compactor and looks up Dr. Gray's in the area. So of course, a profile comes up saying that Dr. Gray is a very successful shrink, aka therapist of some sorts, some type of psychiatrist, who treats a swath of people. He's well known for, I think it seems like, just not specializing in any one type of like matter, but does it all. And or at least in the compactor, at least. So he probably has like some type of specialty, whatever. But you know, clients that they can see on the compactor because surveillance state. Maybe they don't have HIPAA in England. I don't know.
Maybe not.
The clients range from teachers to high-ranking military officials and celebrities like the pro wrestler who just retired. So bam.
Shrink for the stars.
Shrink for the stars.
And the average Joes.
And the average Joes, like this librarian. So that's now our possible connection, is that they share a shrink. So there's like not a lot of like in this episode, like, let's go undercover, because they just find his address and go to his house and ring his doorbell.
They're just like going to people's houses. They're like, oh, you know, when in Liverpool, I guess.
I think they're just
like the Brits are.
Like the Brits. Yeah, I think they're just like, we don't know what the crime is, so what are we undercover for? We'll just go ask these people. Like, we don't know what's going on still. So yeah, they stroll right up to his house and ring the doorbell. I will say, this like being respectful of like being a polite British person doesn't last long, because no one answers the door, and within 6 seconds they break in.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
They're just like,
and
no one's home?
our first crime, I think, of the episode.
Yes, our first actual blatant crime of this episode.
Yeah, cool.
Exactly.
Is carried out by our heroes,
our spies. Yeah, exactly. In the classic American way. Yes. Spend money to make money. You got to crack some eggs to make an omelet here, people. Exactly. Is what they're saying. So they break in and immediately split up to search the house using, you know, their little communication devices to stay in touch with each other as they search. But as they search this house, nothing seems sus. It's like some rich dude's house with like really tacky like decor. It's like kind of a creepy house, but it's mainly just like, because it's tacky, like being like, it basically feels like you're at like a British museum of like, here's a bunch of like old giant paintings. Here's like some like knights suits of armor. Like here's just like very like
it's like gaudy.
Yeah, very gaudy. Yeah, that's the perfect word for it.
I don't like this guy already.
Yeah, Clover is literally just like gross. Of course, Clover.
Of course she is.
Alex, we see, is in the library of the house, which, like, what a dream come true. I'll forgive him a little bit. He has a full like wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling library, which is probably why he'll cater to the everyday librarian, because he understands them. But as she's walking around it, she suddenly starts to get major feedback on her like earring communication device thing. And she follows the feedback like to like make like what's like making it stronger. She goes in that direction until she ends up in the corner of the library where there's some disheveled books. And she pulls one of them out, like kind of trying to explain to Alex and Clover what she's doing, but starting to get staticky on their end. And of course, she pulls one out and bam, the door spins, aka the wall of books is a door, spins, the motion of it flings her behind the bookshelf before it goes back to normal, and Alex's line goes dead. Oh, so Sam and Clover are obviously freaking the fuck out because all they hear is static on her end. And Sam knew she was in the library and starts running towards it when, in classic creepy house fashion, a trapdoor opens up underneath her, and now her line also goes static. So now it's just Clover.
This is like a horror house. Like a torture mansion.
Exactly. Like, cool. Why are there so many things? If this was like Scooby-Doo, there's a million of these houses, and it'd be like, oh, cute, funny. But this show has showed us that all of the villains are like violent, clinically insane. Like sociopaths and psychopaths. So like Clover rightfully is freaked the fuck out and very smartly stays in the same spot and does not move because clearly touching shit and moving around too much sets off traps.
Booby traps all over this place.
But since she's essentially frozen in place now, she needs reinforcements to like scan this house, scope this house, see what's going on. So she calls Jerry. But at that very moment, Jerry is at Buckingham Palace in his old school costume, sitting right next to the Queen, charming her with one of his stories of being an international master spy. And his whoop phone starts to ring and ring and ring. And so eventually Jerry is like, oh, I'm terribly sorry, Your Majesty, but give me one moment. And she sounds like very pleased because, like, correct. You're with the Queen. You pay attention to the Queen. Jerry, you have an out of office signal on it and get like your deputy director to take charge. Right. But as soon as he picks it up, Clover is like whisper screaming, like, Jerry, get the fuck over here. Send surveillance. This is bad. Alex and Sam just went MIA. I can't move. I'm trapped too. Jerry awkwardly is like, oh, pardon me. Where's the loo? I must use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Someone just called me to remind me that I needed to go to the bathroom.
Which, like, also, like, he's an international spy. He could be like, sorry, Queen, I gotta go save the world again.
Yeah, and she'd
kiss
be like,
her hand. God, leave.
Knights him twice.
Exactly. Like, that's what I would have fucking done if I were him. Whatevs.
Yeah, flex that muscle.
Yep, exactly. And we get to see fucking Jerry in action fully this episode. So to get to Clover, he fucking gets on his fighter jet that was probably hovering just outside of Buckingham Palace. He hilariously is still in the same outfit, but he puts his like military like jet like helmet on, like mask thing down, and just like zooms over to her and then fucking ejects himself from the plane and lands perfectly down the chimney like a British Santa Claus.
Like Mary Poppins.
Like Mary Poppins, right next to Clover in the room that she is stuck in. She's like pretty fucking impressed, as was I. I don't know what happened. Did his plane crash? Is it just on like autopilot?
Still flying? Yeah.
Is it just like a like loyal
just hovering over this murder mansion now?
Yeah, exactly. We're not sure. Cool. But yes, Clover explains basically, one, what happened to them so far in the house, and two, that she's just like, we don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, it feels like, she's like, the best we could come up with is like, yeah, it's like personality opposite day. Like, these people's personalities are being switched, and like, I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense. Again, people have the freedom to change their personalities. Like, what's the big deal?
Mm-hmm.
But
all about a revolution or a renaissance of an individual.
Renaissance era.
Go for it.
Just like Beyonce.
Yes.
Jerry, the true master spy, immediately notices what somehow they all missed, which is on the desk in this room is this giant gold and turquoise amulet. And Jerry is like, oh, interesting. You said this guy's like a therapist. Well, is he a therapist? And Clover's like, yeah, we don't know what kind. Like, we couldn't get the whole scoop. And Jerry's like, oh, interesting. And he like walks over to it. He doesn't fucking care about traps. He's a master spy. And he explains that like, oh, this particular type of amulet is actually used in hypnotherapy. But he picks it up and notes that like, like this is actually way too heavy to be used in hypnotherapy. Like this, it looks like it's a hypnotherapist like amulet, but it's like way heavier. Not because it's made of like gold or something like that, but like as they kind of pick it up, moving around, they see that it's like mechanical. There's something happening in it. They're actually able to like, they see a button that they think is going to like open up like the back of it or something like that. So they're like, well, this is strange. Yeah. And as they're holding it, the lights in this dark room turn on, and in walks what I can only describe as, and I think it's funny, like in multiple of my episodes, this is now not the first time that I've referenced an old movie to describe like a character in this show.
Oh no.
As a superhero fan, I know you will understand my reference here.
Oh no.
I can only describe as the 1992 Tim Burton Batman Returns.
Oh my god.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
I just rewatched that movie not that long ago. Yeah. It's on Max if anyone wants to watch it. Wow. So, oh my god. That makes this whole house even more terrifying.
Immediately. I will say, instead of like the greasy down the hair, like long hair, he's got kind of like the spiky hair out to the side, but still with the bald patch, long, scary nose.
Short stature. Maybe like,
like hasn't slept in a long time, long let go of taking care of himself, crazed, etc.
People like trust this guy as their shrink.
They're desperate. Like, what trauma are these people going through? That like this is who they came to.
Like, you look like you could help me.
You look like you've been
through this difficult phase. Yeah. Have you been living in a sewer for the past several years?
My life feels like a sewer, and you look like a sewer, so maybe you can help me get out of it.
Help me. Yeah. Teach me how you got out of the sewer. Exactly. Dr. Gray.
Dr. Gray, Dr. Sewer.
Yeah.
You know what? We're literally, the rest of the time, I've only just written Danny DeVito as the Penguin, so
I'm here for it.
So we're going to refer to him as now.
Helps to visualize.
Yeah, I just want to keep emphasizing
the creepiness of this dude.
Yeah, like he's got like kind of like the chubby cheeks, but like also are wrinkly at the same time. It's just like very like a jaundicey, like Danny DeVito was, maybe a little less so than him. But anyways,
not to shame people who look a certain way, but
y'all look like
this dude sounds terrifying. Yeah,
but y'all are sewer people.
But you look like a sewer person.
That's what Clover's thinking. She's like, oh, ew.
Yeah, that explains this house.
Gross. I should have known.
The trap door that Sam fell down just leads into a sewer. The bookshelf that Alex got trapped behind, sewer.
Also sewer. They're all in the sewer. All goes to the sewer. That's where he's found all of his home decorations. Also, is just picks them out of the sewer.
People throwing their stuff out, and then people throw like a night exactly, down the sewer.
Shove it down the sewer. But yes, so Danny DeVito walks in and explains that like you're correct. Also, actually, by the way, there's a lot of quotes from him. For some reason, he doesn't have a British accent. He has like this like weird like German, Russian, English, American situation going on. We're not even going to try and figure out what it was, but
a man of many cultures.
You know what? Danny DeVito, shapeshifter.
Yeah. He takes a little piece of every country with him when he goes.
To inspire himself.
Yeah.
So, yes, he does confirm that, like, yes, I do hypnotherapy. And yes, I use that amulet for it, or I use an amulet for it, but this specific amulet is actually his latest piece of research in the field. So I guess he's also a leading expert in hypnotherapy. That's why so many people go to him. Okay. It's a highly potent and controversial behavior adjuster, is what it's called.
He describes it as controversial. Like,
yes.
That's the name. Oh, okay. So he knows that he's like, he's in a gray area.
He's in a Dr. Gray area, if you will.
Yeah, that's right. I was still thinking of his name as Danny DeVito. Yeah.
No, he lives for the controversy.
Yes.
And Clover and Jerry are like, excuse me, what exactly do you mean behavior adjuster amulet? What? Dive into that a little more.
Yeah.
But as they're asking him to do that, a couple men in terrifyingly, what I've realized in this moment is like a very scary thing to see, in all white jumpsuits come out of like seemingly nowhere, like from other trapdoors, and grab the two of them. It made me think of like Shutter Island.
Yeah.
And also like the like lobotomy episode of yours. Like anytime like people stoically in matching suits, but again, there's something about just like a full white,
the white ones,
medical-esque, but like not jumpsuit that like you don't want to be involved in that. Get out of there. But yes, as soon as the men in the white jumpsuits, they come out and grab Clover, and Jerry and Danny DeVito is able to grab the amulet out of their hands in that moment. And the Penguin continues to explain that this adjuster thing allows him to alter the personality of anyone he sees fit. But don't worry, I've been ethical and only used it on my actual patients so far. Which, like,
was there informed consent?
Yeah,
Did they know you were going to do that?
I haven't read a lot of terms and conditions in my life, or like medical forms. I just signed things, but like, I'm gonna start reading them now after this episode because it's unclear.
Yeah.
But it makes me think, TBH, that no, there probably was not consent, because he continues to say that, like, no. Don't think that I'm just using it willy-nilly on my patients. That's unethical. I've only been using it on my most annoying patients.
Oh.
Because all they do is complain and bitch and moan about things. And if they would just freaking learn to walk in someone else's shoes, have some empathy for someone else, they would see life in a whole new perspective. Which, like, okay, let's pause here for a few things. One, is this what my therapist thinks about me? Is she going to behavior adjust me? 2.
Behavior adjust. It sounds so violent.
Yeah. 2. Yes, exactly. Violent. Sir, this is not the way to go about things. Aren't you supposed to help them see things from a new perspective through your words?
Yeah, exactly.
Not your actions.
I was going to say, I agree with his conclusion, but not the formula he's using to reach it.
Yeah, like a lot of the villains.
It sounds to me like he needs a new profession. If he thinks like, oh, my clients are so annoying, like, you're a psychiatrist or like a therapist. Yeah. Like, yeah, all of your clients are going to be annoying. That's your job, to make them not annoying.
Signed up for. You are the safe space to be annoying.
Yeah.
Like, to be like so
you're
unadulteratedly annoying in that space. And like, okay. Yeah, like what you said of like the baseline, the inspiration is a good thing. Yeah, like have empathy for one another. See, your problems from another point of view, which also, like, side note though, like, is diminishing of people's problems, like, which ain't cool.
True. Yeah. The way he phrases it, not great. But
But like, I get the sentiment
show
of, like,
people a different perspective.
Exactly.
So that they can greater appreciate their own lives.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Which, like,
but
I want to pause here as well for kind of like my third thing. A controversial opinion here.
Like Dr. Gray.
Like Dr. Gray.
She lives for
like,
controversy.
We live for the hot takes here of, like, I don't know, like, if we had a tool like this and we could, like, use it on our politicians once they pass certain policies, like,
this is music to my ears.
I know. So, like, I don't know. He might not be the worst.
I think he's just using it on the wrong people. He thinks he's using it on the right people, but no, there are some people who would greatly benefit from this, and thus, like, the world as a whole would benefit from it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's true.
Like,
it's true.
Danny's got some not horrible ideas here.
We've officially got a complex villain / anti-hero here, you guys. We just flipped the script.
Yep, exactly. We've entered the gray area.
We're in the gray zone.
The Twilight Zone music starts. The gray zone.
So also, though, and I will add, as a little plus to him, he at least is considering the ethics of what he's doing. He's not just like willy-nilly firing this amulet off at anybody. Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, I'm picking wisely who I use this on. Do I agree with his ethics? Not necessarily, but at least he has some moral compass.
Well, and I'm actually like, until we read my next paragraph, in which we'll leave the gray zone, the gray area.
Well, I like it while we're here, so I'll enjoy it now.
I also, savor it while we continue to speculate, because I am now realizing too that, like, maybe part of it, including why he looks the way he does, is that he's, like, so strung out on, like, some of his patients being like, nothing can fucking help them. I have tried everything. I am a doctor and I'm using hypnotherapy. That's how desperate I've gotten with these people. Like, I need to try something. And he's just, like, gone fucking crazy trying to help these people. And that's why he's, like, looks strung out, and that he's like, this is my only option at this point. Like, I've reached my limit. Like, this is all I can do. Push comes to shove, I gotta switch their personalities.
We've all been there. The gray zone to get true. Very true. And it is stressful. Get gray hairs from that shit. Mm-hmm. I just want to imagine, before we leave this gray zone, I still want to savor it.
In it.
What could the librarian possibly be like saying? Or not even that, but like, what could she possibly be saying that is like, has him like pulling his hair out? Like, she's the worst. This like poor little nice meek librarian.
Maybe she just like gets pushed around in her life so much she can't handle confrontation. Like, if someone gets her coffee order wrong, she won't even send it back, and she comes in to bitch about it. And he's just like, send the fucking order back. It's their job.
Yeah.
To get your order right. Oh my God. And so he, just last
so
straw.
Frustrating.
So bad.
That's it. I'm brain switching her with a WWE wrestler.
Done. Book it.
Done.
She's gonna be
right now.
Only about confrontation now.
Yeah.
The Husher. Confrontation's her middle fucking name.
Yeah.
So yes, let's leave this warm, cozy gray area.
Okay.
Because the Penguin goes on to explain that, he's realized, like, switching personality thing, it's pretty cool. And like all of our criminals, he's realized, I could be power hungry. I'm gonna be power hungry with this shit.
God.
Like,
no.
I started at like 0, went to 10. I'm taking up to 110 now.
Oh gosh.
Because he's decided, like, well, I've proven that it's worked. I'm gonna take this all the way to the top. I'm gonna switch places with the President of the United States.
Oh shit. That's like beyond 110.
Well,
wow.
Even more so, actually. We'll get into that exactly what and who he will be switching with the president, because it's not even necessarily him, but he is going to switch the president's personality. So
but honestly, like we said before, I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm sure, I'm interested. There could be potential benefit for this, but it's totally Spies, so I know it's going to go the opposite direction.
It's a wild direction that it goes. But before we take that direction, I know we've done some wild speculating already about him, but despite like this villain monologue and also our speculating of like him getting pushed to the edge with the patients, they don't really go into who he is or how he got to this point. So I would like to wildly speculate by copying and pasting the actual Penguin and Batman Returns backstory.
Awesome. Nice.
With the
We're going back to the sewers.
of like that he became a hypnotherapist. So essentially, Dr. Gray was abandoned by his rich parents when he was born because he was a freaky looking little baby. They tried to kill him by throwing in a river, aka I think he thinks that means people complain too much. They don't know. Their parents didn't try to murder them. Why are they fucking complaining about their coffee order being wrong? But survives, and instead of being raised by animals, he's raised by some fucking animal somewhere.
Yeah, zoo penguins that got out of
he's raised this time by the sewers, I think.
The rats.
Eventually resurfaces to become a therapist so he can understand other humans to re-enter society. But upon re-entering society, he realizes everyone's just a little bitch and complains all the time. So instead of running for mayor of Gotham City like the Penguin does, he decides to run and go after the president of the United States to make changes that he wants to see by getting rid of ungrateful, annoying people along the way.
Got it.
So,
I'm still just laughing. He was a freaky looking baby. I don't know why. That's so funny. We're in the sewer. Which, I mean, yes,
we're rich. We can't have a freaky looking baby.
That is his story.
Yep.
Oh, man.
So here's the thing. I don't have any memory of Batman Returns. I just quickly looked at the Wikipedia page for this because I saw him on screen.
It's kind of fresh.
This is the Penguin. But like, apparently, according to Wikipedia, spoiler, Danny DeVito dies in the end, and the penguins who raised him give him like a penguin Viking funeral at the end.
Pretty much. Like send him off.
Yeah. And I just like pictured as like
he's like
a bunch of little penguins with like little tuxedo bows from like Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins coming up again.
There we go.
But, like with like the bow and arrow on fire, but down like the sewer.
Like lights the frickin' whatever, like creates an effigy.
But it's like the effigy, but it's made of like cardboard from the sewer, so it's like falling apart.
Like all the chemicals and stuff that get mixed in the sewer just explodes.
Like a nuke bomb goes nuclear bomb.
Gotham just goes up in flames.
Exactly.
/ Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool exploded.
Basically Gotham. Yeah. Wow.
So that was extremely
cool. Makes sense to me.
I just needed to get into this guy. I just could not. So Clover and Jerry are like, what? And they immediately simply just like beat the shit out of the guards who were like holding them back. I will say, obviously we've seen Clover fight and stuff. It's fucking sweet to see Jerry like literally just like kick the shit out of these people until it's just like a pile of bodies that they like run over, and as they like run out the door. And of course, Dr. Penguin Gray, DeVito here, like he can't fight. He's just like starting to shoot the amulet like across back and forth, trying to like make sure they don't come like beat him up.
Yeah.
But they obviously run out the door, dodge out of the way, and of course, like everyone else, fall into a trapdoor. And because it's a creepy old British house, they fall into a casual dungeon where Alex and Sam are locked away. Yes, horror house. Yeah, Alex and Sam are there. They're fine.
I was wondering about them. Like, they've been gone for a while.
Yeah, like, they good?
Are they okay?
Yes, they're there. They're like, oh my God, thank God you guys are here. Also, like, what took you guys so long? What the fuck? And Jerry stands up because, like, Clover and him obviously, like, piled on each other. And Jerry stands up and like adjusts his wig because he's obviously still in it.
I forgot.
And says, "Good God, give us a break. We've been like totally busy." And Clover says,
oh no.
Like, yeah, indeed. We've been like quite preoccupied.
Oh no.
And Alex and Sam are like, what? Excuse me? And Jerry and Clover are like, excuse me. And Dr. DeVito walks into the dungeon and laughs, saying, yes, I gave them a little bit of an attitude adjustment.
Oh no.
In their shock, Clover and Jerry are easily bested and also thrown into a dungeon now. And I will say, like, in like, I don't know, 3 seconds, they like very easily like break out and that kind of stuff.
Classic Spies.
I do want to point out, because you did say that, like, yeah, maybe raised by rats, because before Danny Penguin leaves, he does say that he hopes they all enjoy the rats that he's about to let into like the dungeons, because he's been starving them for days and days in his own personal psychological experiment. So like, he also does psychological torture and is about to murder them? Question mark,
what?
question mark, question mark, question mark. Because like, what kind of shrink has a bunch of rats on hand for who are already starved? Like, what?
Like, that's
what? We're out of the gray area. He's back.
Yeah. We've left it. We've left it long ago.
Yeah, we out. They're about to get attacked by hungry, angry rats, etc. Also, deleted scenes from Ratatouille. Ratatouille 2.
He went down to France, got them all.
Yep, brought him back.
Hopped over the channel, brought him right back. Yeah.
So, yes, he and the guards leave off to hop across the pond to the US of A. Everyone breaks out easily. But as they do, Clover gets a call on her compactor, because she apparently gets reception in this dungeon. And it turns out Hanson Carter from the M Channel wants her to co-host a DJ session with him.
Nice.
But it's filming ASAP in LA.
Of course. The outfit worked. Told you.
Yep. And at the same time, outfit always works. Jerry is about to be fucking knighted. So like
they're all so special.
They're all making it in this world.
Yeah.
And so like, despite the now extremely immediate crime and threats to like the world with the president of the United States, it's straight up only Alex and Sam who fly off to DC, because Jerry goes back to Buckingham Palace and Clover goes to LA. And they're like, we'll deal with this whole personality thing later. That's a tomorrow problem. Cut to Clover in her librarian suit from before.
Oh my God, she's still wearing that.
No, she changed into it now. With her hair pulled tightly back, sitting on stage next to Hanson Carter, the DJ, filming M Channel. And she is scoffing at the boy band music video playing, basically saying like, this is trash. I prefer classical music. Like, I prefer classical music specifically. She's like, have you like any class here? Oh no, it's so confusing to which one accent it is.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the British accent. She just
has his personality.
It's so confusing.
Okay. Yes. Gotcha.
Cut to Buckingham Palace.
Oh no.
Jerry sprinting back in, like knocking over the other people who are getting knighted, saying like, oh my God, I am like so totally entirely sorry. I'm blown away by this honor, royally blown away, in fact. Thank you like so much. And the queen and the royal family and the entire palace are like,
excuse me?
What? Cut to Sam and Alex literally sprinting through the White House, flashing their whoop badges, which is giving them immediate access. Yes.
Yeah. Clearance.
Oval office where the president is some nondescript Southern white dude, LOL, because it was 2002.
Yep.
Got a real thick, perhaps Texas accent
perhaps.
going.
Has no clue what's going on around him.
Is pretty confused. And they just bust into the Oval Office. The girls again flash their whoop badges and explain to him what's going on, who the Penguin is, what his plan is, switching this personality, and bam, the doors get kicked in right behind them by Danny DeVito and his 2 guards, which, like I said, it's 2002. 9/11 was fresh.
Yeah.
People are just able to walk through the White House. Like, at least Alex and Sam had their whoop badges, but like,
yeah.
Danny DeVito and his henchmen just strolling through. Where's the Secret Service?
Yeah.
Anywhere. No less someone who looks like Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Yeah, I know.
They're
like, sorry, you're not even getting in for like visitor access, like for the tours.
Getting onto Pennsylvania Avenue.
No.
They're seeing what you look like. They judge a book by its cover. They're carting you out of there.
This is the judgiest city in the country, in the world. No less.
You are not getting through those gates in any way, shape, or form. So,
oh boy.
The Penguin smirks and snaps his fingers for his goons to attack Jerry and Clover, saying that on the way to the United States, he basically saw how his last goons got their asses kicked. So on the way there, he switched their personalities with 2 like karate black belts. So now it's like an actual fucking fight. But I got my black belt in 4th grade. So I was like, what if one of them started fighting like I did when I was like in 4th grade? AKA like a rabid little like 10-year-old just like, which is like definitely how I did karate when I was a child. But anyways, that didn't happen. They were like actual fighters now. But in this fight, I said Jerry and Clover grabbing Alex and Sam. Sorry. So in the fight, Alex and Sam put on the vapor chloroform gloves and literally are able to like knock the dudes on the ground and then grab their faces with the gloves, and the dudes pass out. So like they chloroformed them. So like whatever. Then they look directly up at the Penguin, who is now fucking panicking because his goons are down. And we kind of just see them close in on him and tie up the Penguin. The president finally snaps his fingers. Oh, and by the way, actually, before I say what happened, the Penguin does reveal that he was going to switch the president's personality with a rodeo clown's personality. Because basically being like, all you are is a clown either way. So like more of a political statement than actual like power play. I think he would have changed his mind real soon and put himself in the presidency. But
also like is he assuming that rodeo clowns are like always in character? Like just because you're a rodeo clown doesn't mean you're like not a normal person outside of the rodeo.
You know
it's
what?
Like you're always
they don't have
like
rodeo clowns
with your family
in England.
Liverpool.
Yeah, especially in Liverpool that I'm aware of. So he thinks so, yes. I think he thinks so.
Cool.
But anyways,
he lived in a sewer his whole life. He doesn't have he didn't understand.
The only clown he sees is it. And that's it.
Down there.
And he's always in character. So like
true.
He assumes this is all clowns.
I guess rodeo clowns are as well, right?
That's it. So Alex and Sam tie the Penguin up.
Gotcha.
And the president finally snaps his fingers, and Secret Service suddenly jumps out from like behind hidden walls, who are absolutely all holding guns, for sure, by the way.
Cool.
And they just like grab Danny DeVito, who's all tied up. No explanation, no comments. But I would like to point out that Guantanamo Bay opened in 2002.
Yeah.
So like this guy essentially just threatened the president. So I think Danny DeVito's in Guantanamo Bay now.
Like to this day.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the oldest prisoners there.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito. So anyways, I guess Whoop was able to keep like some of the evidence, re-switch Clover and Jerry's personalities because now they're back to normal. Clover is watching footage of like the DJ call-in show and is mortified how she acted. But the studio calls her again because they were like, you were fucking weird. It got us good ratings. Want to come back? And she's like, Jerry, let's switch again. Let's switch again. Let's switch again. Let's go back. Yeah, I'm going to be famous. But then we learn, like, I will say this episode ends on a devastating note because after the way Jerry acted, the queen refused to give him his knighthood.
Oh.
So, like, Jerry's just sitting there being like, yeah, just like the queen, that's all good for you, Clover. We cannot switch back. Like, the queen didn't give me my knighthood. And Clover's like, no, let's switch back. And Alex and Sam are like, Clover, you freak. And he's just like his life is ruined by this because of Clover.
I blame the queen.
Yeah, the queen was being a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. She could have his knighthood still. Cool. But like, she's dead, whatever.
I was going to say she's dead. She can't say anything about that.
We won the Revolutionary War, so we can make fun of the queen.
You know what, Jerry? You live in the USA now, and based on just saving the president, you're going to get like the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is way better than any sort of knighthood from the royal family.
Sir Jerry Lewis.
Yeah. You're welcome in the USA anytime.
Yeah. America.
Fuck yeah.
So that's it. That's the end.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
That is pretty sad for Jerry, though.
I know.
Put that whole outfit on for nothing.
I know. And he went to go save Clover, then ruined his life. So, yeah, the importance of out of office messages, I guess. Really taking vacation time.
Very important. And maybe, I mean, I know it was a pretty big emergency, but maybe don't schedule like the girls to like do a massive spy mission when you're about to get knighted. Kind of sounds like some shit might blow up in the middle of your ceremony.
Yes. And like learn to delegate. Give that to someone else.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like Jerry is the only one who really works at Whoop, and everyone else, like all the suits are just random bodyguards that he brings in that have no like managing authority or anything.
Right. But then we see all of, like the science labs and like crazy like Cthulhu creatures. So like there's other people doing research at Whoop, but like whatever. I think Jerry's probably
they don't call the shots.
Yeah. And Jerry's like, these girls can't be trusted. I must be the ones in charge. I must be the one in charge of them. But but he's regretting that now.
Yeah, I know, right? Lost that knighthood. Wow. Yep. Great job, though. Great job. Also, this entire episode, all I wanted to see was, so you said at the beginning there was like a military general who was using puppets now. It's like, God, I want to see the puppeteer who's now like the personality of a military general.
Like screaming at kindergartners.
And like kids. I said, sit in your chair now. Like with puppets in his hand still though. Like
throwing the puppets on the ground. Drop it, give me 20. I can't count to 20.
I'll set 20 now.
Set 20. What? Like picking their nose. They're all just crying. So wow. There you go.
Amazing. Yeah. Another villain. Well, you gave him a good backstory, or at least kind of wildly speculated a good backstory, because otherwise I would be like, man, who hurt you?
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, I'd say being thrown into a sewer by parents who didn't love you as an infant.
Yeah.
And then being raised by rats it might lead one to do that.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I would also think humans are annoying if they tried to drown me when I was a baby. And also rats probably think humans are annoying, and that's who raised him potentially. So like, I see where he's coming from. Again, not the worst invention we've had, but the wrong application.
Exactly.
Perhaps. So
wow.
Yeah. So it was a very fun episode.
It did.
Please go watch it. The Clover Jerry switch is also very fun. Like to hear the like voice changes, which for some reason I can only do like the British talking like a Valley Girl, but not a Valley Girl talking proper. I can't flip the other way for some reason, but whatever.
Exist.
Go watch the episode.
They don't talk proper.
Nope. Yeah. So
it has it all. This episode has it all. We've got wrestling, we've got libraries, we've got Mary Poppin, we've got Batman and Penguins,
Danny DeVito.
We've got it all. Rodeo clowns.
Yeah, rodeo clowns.
Amazing.
References to 2002 political state in America.
Yes.
Who knows? Those last two things are the same things that we just named. Yes. Whoops.
Rodeo clown, president.
Who knows?
Anyways,
so, between now and next week, who should our audience tell about this show?
Okay. This week, you should tell someone you know who is obsessed with Batman comics, I guess. Because,
text Alexis Bird right now.
Oh, my phone's ringing. Hold on. Actually, I have Batman comics behind me.
Yep.
And they'll be like, oh my God, that's the Penguin. That's him. That's Oswald. Anyway, who should they tell?
I think after that, you should tell Rodeo Clown.
Nice.
Go find, and also ask them, like, is this you all the time? Did like your wife leave you because you couldn't get out of the makeup? Like,
do your children hate you because you're throwing pies in their faces?
Are your only friends other rodeo clowns at this point? Or like, do you all also hate each other? Like, what's the scene? And then ask them to comment on this video and tell us what it's like to be a rodeo clown, because now I want to know.
Yeah, I'm considering it. Could use a career change.
If Alexis's new employer is listening to this, no, she does not want one.
Just kidding.
She is dedicated to her new job that she just got.
I love it. I love it. I do not want to be a rodeo clown.
And she loves it. Does not want to be a rodeo clown.
No.
Yes. Great. Well, till next week.
Cool.
Bye.
Yeah, see ya. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.